Hello students, welcome to history class. Myself Mrs. Swati Hazare from Gokhale Education Society's HL High School English Medium Ozar Township, Nasik. Today we are going to learn history of standard 9th from Maharashtra State Board English Medium syllabus, chapter number 6, Empowerment of Women and Other Weaker Sections. First of all, what is the meaning of empowerment? Empowerment means authority or power given to someone to do something. The process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's rights. So, the woman's empowerment is the process of empowering women. Empowerment can be defined in many ways. However, when talking about women's empowerment, empowerment means accepting and allowing people or women who are on the outside of the decision making process into it. Women's empowerment is the most crucial point to be noted for the overall development of a country. Empowerment includes the action of raising the status of women through education, raising awareness, literacy, and training. Women's empowerment is all about equipping and allowing women to make life determining decisions through the different problems in society. Empowerment of women is necessary for the very development of a society since it enhances both the quality and the quantity of human resources available for development. Women's empowerment and achieving gender equality is essential for our society to ensure the sustainable development of the country. So, students, in this chapter, we will study about women and their contributions in all fields. And also, we will study about the laws enacted for women and other weaker sections. Other weaker sections means women, the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes, the nomadic tribes, and denotified tribes are the weaker sections of the Indian society. Women had participated in the freedom struggle. They have made significant contributions in all fields in the post independence period. Still, gender based discrimination exists. So, many women participated in the freedom struggle. Suchetra Kripalani, Sarojini Naidu, Captain Lakshmi Sehgal, Umabai Kundapur, Usha Mehta, Kasturba Gandhi, Kamala Nehru, Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit were incredible women who shaped India's freedom struggle. The following table indicates fall in the population of women, number of women per 1000 men. Year of census is given here and number of women. In 1951, 946 women per 1000 men. In 1961, 941 women. In 1971, 930 women per 1000 men. In 1981, 934. In 1991, 927 women per 1000 women. And in 2001, 933 women per 1000 men. The main cause of the decline of the sex ratio in India is due to the biased attitude or partial prejudice or discriminatory attitude which is given out to the woman. The main cause of this gender bias is inadequate education. The sex ratio in India was almost normal during the phase of the years of independence. But thereafter, it started showing gradual signs of decrease. The root cause of the problems of women is male centric mentality of men. Means centered on emphasizing or dominated by males or masculine interest. When we study the condition of women in India, we realized that the roots of several of the problems they face lie in the mentality of men. Manifestation of women power. Vinoba Bhave made use of women power in the Bhudan movement. Women volunteers carried the message of Bhudan to all parts of India. Vinoba Bhave was a leader who took a leadership role in the Indian independence movement. After Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated in 1948, Bhave was seen as the successor to Mahatma Gandhi's role as India's spiritual leader, and he began focusing his attention on the poor and landless members of Indian society. These people had no money, were entirely reliant on others, and really had no way of gaining land or money in the strict class system of India. In 1951, Bhave developed a radical solution and started Bhudan movement or land gift movement in 1951 at Pochampally village, which is now in Telangana and known as the Bloodless Revolution. And this is the location where he started movement. The Bhudan movement attempted to persuade wealthy landowners to voluntarily give one-sixth of their land to landless people because a village of about 700 families, of whom two-thirds means near about 466 families were landless. In this movement, women volunteers carried the message of Bhudan to all parts of India. Women played a significant role in the Telangana peasants' armed struggle even. Vinoba Bhave walked across India on foot. When he entered Nalgonda district to visit the Harijans who asked for 80 acres of land that would enough to solve their problems. To everyone's surprise, Ramchandra Reddy, sitting among the crowd, got up and offers 100 acres of his land. Women had played an important role in the Telangana peasants' armed struggle against the rule of the Nizam and the feudal system. Women became free from bonded labor. First of all, what is the meaning of feudal system? In the feudal system, most of the rights were given to upper classes. The nobles got land from the crown or kings in exchange for military service. The peasants, means farmers, obliged to live on their lord's land. Even these farmers had to hand over their own land to landlords in protection from the violent tribe attack from beyond the borders. Peasants and farmers remained poor as they gave large share of their income to the feudal lords. So there was armed struggle of Telangana peasants against the rule of the Nizam and the oppressive feudal lords who were ruling the villages. They ruled over the communities in the village and managed the tax collections, means revenues, and owned almost all the land in that area. One of the most popular leaders of the movement was Chityala Elamma, who started the rights of the lower caste laboring classes, and especially women, to cultivate their own land and reject supremacy of upper class. As a Bahujan laborer, her violent resistance to the Razakars who was paramilitary militia of Nizam. Militia means military force and zamindars. That means her violent resistance to the Razakars and zamindars or landlords inspired hundreds of women to join the armed struggle. The agitation led by communists was successful in taking over 3,000 villages from the feudal lords, and 10 lakh acres of agriculture land was distributed to landless peasants. Around 4,000 peasants lost their lives in the struggle fighting with feudal private armies. The Latne Morcha, led by Mrinal Gore in Mumbai in 1972, displayed the strength of women. This protest morcha was taken out against the price rise of commodities like kerosene and the shortage of essential goods like oil, ghee, rava, etc. Women who have to face the brunt of scarcity means chief impact of scarcity of supplies and rising prices gave a show of their strength as an organized entity in 1972 under the leadership of the socialist leader Mrinal Gore. Women in Mumbai participated in a demonstration which came to be known as the Latne Morcha, the rolling pin demonstration. Commodities like oil, ghee, rava, maida would become scarce just as Diwali was near at hand. Kerosene had become very expensive. In a protest against price rise, Gore led a rally of hundreds of women brandishing rolling pins from Churchgate to Azad Maidan in South Mumbai. The first time she held a rolling pin morcha in 1972. Gore and other colleagues of her husband Keshav set up the Keshav Gore Smarak Trust, which supports community centered activities and social awareness campaigns and actions after he died in 1958. Chipko Movement. Chipko Movement of 1973 in the forest region at the foothills of the Himalayas was another show of constructive women power. This movement was led by Chandi Prasad Bhatt and Sundar Lal Bahuguna. Gaura Devi created awareness among the women with the help of Sudesha Devi and Bachni Devi. Women followed the strategy of holding hands and encircling each tree, as their method consisted of protecting the tree by embracing it. The movement came to be known as the Chipko movement. The Chipko movement was a non-violent agitation in 1973 that was aimed at protection and conservation of trees, but perhaps it is best remembered for the collective mobilization of women for the cause of preserving forest, which also brought about a change in attitude regarding their own status in society. The uprising against the felling of trees and maintaining the ecological balance originated in Uttar Pradesh's Chamboli district, now Uttarakhand, at the foothills of Himalayas in 1973. The name of the movement Chipku comes from the word embrace, as the villagers hugged the trees and encircled them to prevent being hacked. Hacked. Hacked means cut with rough or heavy blows. However, the original Chipko movement dated back to the 18th century and was started by Rajasthan's Bishnoi community. The incident has been carved in the annals of history. Annals of history means records of events. Annals means records of events. For the sacrifice of a group of villagers who led by the lady named Amrita Devi laid down their lives while protecting trees from being felled on the orders of then king. After this incident, the king banned cutting of trees in all Bishnoi villages. The trigger for the modern Chipko movement was the growth in development was that Uttar Pradesh witnessed following the 1963 China border conflict. The need for infrastructural development attracted many foreign logging companies who were eyeing the state's vast forest resources. However, the forests were the lifeblood of the villagers and they relied on it for both food and fuel. The other reason that angered the villagers was the government's policy that did not allow all agriculturists and herders to cut the trees for fuel, wood, or for fodder, and for certain other purposes. However, a sports manufacturing company was given the permission to fell trees and use them to make equipment which proved to be the final provocation, and a people's movement was born. When their appeals were denied, Bhatt led a group of villagers into the forest and embraced the trees to prevent logging. After many days of agitation, the government cancelled the company's logging permit. So the Chikku movement can essentially be called a women's movement. Anti-liquor movement. A movement against consumption means drinking, of arak, a locally produced alcohol, was started by women in Andhra Pradesh. It received good response as women were aware of the sorrow and poverty caused by the untimely death of the head of household due to addiction. In 1992, in Andhra Pradesh, a movement was started against the drinking of alcohol. It received a good response in other states too. When the head of the household dies an untimely death due to addiction to alcohol, the family faces a serious crisis which affects women the most. Due to alcoholism, they have to deal with extreme sorrow and poverty. This movement got the support of the anti-Arak movement in Andhra Pradesh. Here we can see anti-liquor movement. It was started by women. The Sitama Katha was narrated as a part awareness program. It created awareness among the women against alcohol. In 1992, the incident of drowning of three young persons in a state of inebriation in Dubugunta village in Nellore district caused an uproar across the state. The women of the village came together and forced the closure of the arak shops. The government had to adopt a strict policy against the sale of alcohol. As a result of a government policy, arak means a locally produced alcohol. As a result of a government policy, arak dealers set up shop in every town and village. The poor laboring people began to get addicted to alcohol. At the same time, a literacy program was being run in the villages of the state. The Sitama Katha, means Sita's story, was narrated as a part of this program. It was a story about Sita who creates awareness among the people of a village and gets alcohol to be banned from the village. In 1992, three youths of Dubuganta village of Nellore district in Andhra Pradesh drowned in a lake in a state of inebriation. Inebriation means drunkenness and died. At this instance, the women of the village came together and forced the closure of arak shops. The report of this news in the local newspapers had its effect on many other villages. The movement spread to the entire state, and the government had to adopt a strict policy against the sale of alcohol. Next point, International Women's Year. United Nations had declared 1975 as the International Women's Year. The three aspects of this program were peace, development, and equality between men and women. Every year, March 8th is observed as International Women's Day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women all across the world. In 1908, around 15,000 women marched through New York City demanding shorter working hours, better pay, and the right to vote. The first International Women's Day was celebrated in 1911 when over a million people gathered in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. In 1917, a mass agitation for bread and peace in Russia led to the Tsar Nicholas II to give up throne and granted women the right to vote. The United Nations adopted the International Women's Day in 1975. Every year, an official theme is adopted to celebrate the International Women's Day. This year's theme of the International Women's Day is Balance for Better, which advocates the need of a gender balanced society. A committee on status of women was constituted by Government of India in 1975 under the chairmanship of Dr. Fulrenu Guha. The committee studied the various problems related to women comprehensively. A comprehensive survey was conducted of several issues such as the social position of women, their status, the consequences of the constitutional provisions made for women, as also education of women and its percentage, their progress due to education, and difficulties faced by working women, the position of women with respect to work or livelihood, their wages relative to men's wages, the female male ratio, birth and death or mortality rates, and the role of women. So, students, today we have learnt about manifestation of woman power means about Bhudan movement, meaning of feudal system, Latne Morcha, the Chipko movement, anti-liquor movement, and International Women's Year. In the second part, we will proceed with women empowerment struggle. Thanks for watching.